A small country road bends away from the main highway, its surface narrowing as it disappears into a thick canopy of ancient trees. The air here grows still and cool, carrying the scent of damp earth and old leaves. The gates, when they appear, are surprisingly understated, fashioned from dark, unadorned iron. You find yourself slowing your car almost instinctively, as if a sudden noise might break a long-held silence. Through a momentary gap in the foliage, you think you catch a glimpse of a weathered red brick wall. Then, rising above the tree line, you see them, a forest of tall, ornate chimneys, more than any single house should possess. It suggests a sprawling collection of roofs, like a small village nestled entirely within one private property, a place that looks lifted from a forgotten storybook, yet one that clearly values its profound quiet. This sense of deep-seated privacy fuels curiosity. In an age where everything is shared, tweeted, and documented, such a vast and silent place feels like an anomaly. The name whispered in connection with this place is Rothschild, a name synonymous with immense fortunes, political influence, and legendary art collections. To understand the house, one must first understand the name attached to it. The Rothschilds are a renowned European family of Jewish descent who established a vast banking dynasty in the late 18th century. The story famously starts with Mayer Amschel Rothschild in Frankfurt, Germany. He sent his 5 sons to 5 key cities, London, Paris, Vienna, Naples, and Frankfurt, creating a cohesive international network. They funded governments, financed wars, and underwrote infrastructure, railways, and even the Suez Canal, shaping Europe's economic landscape. As their wealth accumulated, they became collectors of art, manuscripts, and decorative objects. They commissioned grand houses and gardens, Gut Rothschild, opulent yet refined. Palaces like Waddesdon Manor and the Palais Rothschild hosted high society. Through wars, the Holocaust, and shifting markets, branches declined, adapted, or transitioned into modern finance. Privacy became ethos and security, a way to live outside the glare of celebrity culture. The immense, quiet estates that remain continue that tradition of discretion, preserving a legacy far from the public eye. Okay, so, let's begin. The estate sits embraced by verdant countryside, not a single structure, but a carefully orchestrated collection of buildings, gardens, and managed landscapes. At its heart, a magnificent main house. Blended styles, steep roofs, tall mullioned windows, and many chimneys. Flanking it are substantial buildings, guest houses, administrative offices, and quarters for senior staff. The scale suggests self-sufficiency, capable of hosting many without feeling crowded. Materials are the highest quality, aged stone, hand-fired brick, gleaming leaded glass, all meticulously maintained. The care is continuous and exacting. Beyond the buildings lies horticultural wonder, a large walled garden with heritage vegetables and espaliered fruit trees. Flowers cut for the house. Records mention a grand orangery, overwintering citrus and housing exotic flora. The landscape is softened by small man-made lakes and meandering streams, linked by stone bridges and quiet paths. Vast parkland holds ancient trees and managed woodlands, designed for beauty and privacy. Security is discreet, but absolute. A winding driveway of at least a mile keeps the residents hidden from the road. Visitors are expected, vetted, and checked in at a gatehouse. The estate operates like a private village. Gardeners, housekeepers, security, and maintenance staff living in scattered homes, keeping a smooth, quiet rhythm of daily life. Privacy here is multi-layered. Sheer size creates a buffer. Dense woodland, rolling hills, agricultural fields, pushing access far away. The view from within is controlled. The view from without is blocked. Access is controlled via private, unmarked lanes and gated approaches. Without an invitation and precise directions, entry is futile. Estate-owned roads grant legal authority to restrict passage. A legal layer, trusts, holding companies, offshore entities, makes linking property to individuals difficult via public records, opaque to the public, compliant with the law. Finally, a culture of secrecy. Loyal, long-term staff where discretion is expected and understood. Nearby communities know their powerful neighbors, whose quiet local philanthropy reinforces respectful silence. Physical barriers, legal structuring, and a culture of discretion combine to shield a private world hidden in plain sight. That's how it stays that way. Section 5. Traces in the public record, facts and figures. Despite intense privacy, an estate this size leaves traces. Land registries list owners, often a trust or company, with dates of purchase and parcel histories. Records reveal gradual assembly over decades. Adjacent farms and smaller properties acquired piece by piece. Council planning archives show permissions for restoration, staff housing, lakes, even access roads, with drawings, site maps, and environmental reports. Reputable news and art journals note long-term art loans from a private Rothschild collection to national museums. Society pages recall events. Agricultural and timber reports mention named estates. Cross-referencing trust names across registries and charity reports builds a verifiable, if incomplete, picture. These connections confirm location, approximate size, and a long-standing Rothschild link. Truth beneath myth. A great house is more than brick, stone, and land. It is animated by the people who inhabit and care for it. Generations of gardeners read the seasons. The moment a certain rose will bloom, the woodland floor blue with spring. Cooks know family preferences, traditions endure. A trusted house manager orchestrates cleaning, security, and deliveries. It runs with the efficiency of a hotel and the intimacy of a home. Groundskeepers and housekeepers are bound by discretion, rewarded with stability, housing, and belonging. A single, perfectly placed teacup echoes their care. Neighbors recall black car convoys, a steeple quietly funded, a library supported, philanthropy folded into local memory. A powerful private neighbor, known, unexamined, and quietly appreciated. 900 million is an amalgam of land, buildings, and contents, often subjective, always complex. Land forms the foundation. Woodlands, arable acreage, landscaped gardens, appreciating over time. Then infrastructure. Main residence, guest houses, staff quarters, stables, glass houses, and outbuildings. Replacement would be astronomical. Historical significance adds a premium beyond cost. Contents often dominate: old masters, French furniture, rare porcelain, manuscripts, and deep wine cellars. A single painting can exceed 100 million. The figure is theoretical, expert estimates if brought to market. The property itself is not for sale. Values fluctuate. Ultimately, price equals what a buyer would pay. For the family, value is in history, legacy, and sentiment, qualities no ledger can fix. The number is a shadow. The reality is a world. A secluded billion-class estate raises questions. Great wealth, privacy, and the public's right to know. Any family may want privacy to raise children, enjoy home life, and manage security risks. More so with a famous name. The law protects privacy. People aren't obliged to publicize assets. Trusts and companies are legitimate tools for asset management and estate planning. Journalists, academics, and transparency advocates argue that extreme wealth influences politics, markets, and policy. Opacity can undermine trust. This critique targets the system, not necessarily individuals, pressing for visibility without eroding rights. The balance is debated in courts, legislatures, and media, the line constantly redrawn. The quiet walled estate is a potent symbol, a world of its own, within a society asking for accountability. It stands as a silent participant in a vital, unresolved conversation. In the end, after searching records and piecing facts, the great gates remain closed, the chimneys breathe into cool air, the gardeners continue their patient work. The house keeps its stories, the picture is clearer, yet incomplete. We confirm its reality, scale, and care. A living monument to a legendary family, speaking of patient, multi-generational stewardship. 900 million reflects time, artistry, nurtured soil, and labor, holding back decay. History lives not only in grand pronouncements, but in steadfast, silent preservation of a legacy.